Let me describe your working day. I woke up, was overwhelmed by the number and complexity of tasks, spent half a day trying to start at least one, but did nothing. It seems like I sat at the table for half a day, but my son, he's not there. Didn't rest, didn't work. There are 2 chairs, you didn't sit on either one. And this epic ends with one thing. On the last day with saucer eyes, you complete all the tasks on a sleepless night. You are so in a frenzy that during this forced march you tell yourself that this is the last time you will put everything off so far. To the last one, and you repeat it again and again and guess again. But the bitter, or rather sweet, truth is that this can really be avoided. And I'll tell you more. You don't even have to work 8 hours a day to do this. A 4-hour working day is enough. And this is confirmed by the latest scientific data. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go in order. To understand, pay attention to what your working day is spent on. That supposedly correct 8-hour day. I'll tell you a story. When I was still working as an editor, I decided to check how much time a day I spend purely on tasks. On a piece of paper, having written down the number, I marked with a dash 1 hour when I worked hard and concentrated. Until that day, I sincerely believed that I was going like hell for 8 hours a day. It turned out that 3 to 4 hours of concentrated work actually took place. The rest of the time was spent watching a couple of videos on YouTube and playing a game of chess. Reply to a couple of Kents, read the comments, cook and wait until the kettle boils. In short, the list can be continued ad infinitum. Seeing with disappointing statistics, I turned to the internet with this request. How long can a person work concentratedly? And that's what science says. A person switches his attention every 3 minutes. And when you sit at a computer, the average act of concentration takes 47 seconds. Just think about it. Every minute you are jumping from one trigger to another. What kind of efficiency can we talk about at this rate? A message from a friend that arrives at you during work can completely multiply your attention and concentration by 0, and at the same time distract you for several hours with meaningless correspondence about anything except what you really need. All these years I was just starting to enter the field of producing, and it seemed to me that with current orders I would not be able to devote a minute of time to my business. Turned out to be completely different. Therefore, I became interested in how to work effectively in fact and not on paper. From my own experience, I am convinced that we flush the toilet most of the working day. And after many years of experimentation, I realized that a 4-hour working day is enough to complete all tasks. And this is not me saying, but scientific research. There is such a topic as Parkinson's law. It is the law, not the disease. It says that work expands as much time as you have time to complete it. This means that a month on a task will result in it taking a month to complete, even if the task actually requires one concentrated day of work. We conclude that you need to set clear timeframes for your daily tasks, and not puff in a coma, not knowing what and when to do. At such moments I remember the words of the Italian scientist Vilfredo Pareto. This mega said a quote that was snapped up all over the boys' public pages, but the point is that it is true. Sounds like this. 20% of the effort yields 80% of the result. The remaining effort yields only 20% of the result. Therefore, they give 4 recommendations that will increase results and reduce costs. First, proper planning. When you have an incentive, everything unnecessary goes away on its own. Goal setting and planning are the father and mother of success. Define a clear goal, break it down into steps. Monitor your progress and get satisfaction from your achievements. Every step forward will be enjoyable. Everything is like in the game. Lots of simple tasks and rewards for each. This is a method that will help you stay focused and move forward. Inspiring action. Secondly, the correct routine. I recommend interval work, which I practice myself. For example, you work on a task for 45 minutes, then take a short break for 15 minutes. Everyone criticizes the education system, but the practice of a study hour, 45 minutes of work and 15 breaks, appeared after years of experimentation and real work. If you find it difficult to check the time, there are many applications that do it for you clearly and on schedule. Third, cut out the excess. At such moments I remember the words of the father of the atomic bomb, Igor Kurchatov. He said that in any business it is important to determine priorities, otherwise the secondary, although necessary, will take away all the strength and will not allow you to reach the main thing. Listen to these words. This is literally the key to success in life. And last on the list, but the main priority, is discipline. It is a powerful weapon, but at the same time a double-edged sword. Having driven yourself into a framework and a clear schedule minute by minute, you will die in a day. Therefore balance is important. Let's just say that discipline is needed in order to allocate those same 4 hours of work and spend them diligently and concentratedly. The rest of the day is already at your disposal. You can write on the computer and lay the chick on your shoulder blades. You deserved. 4 hours of work is already an achievement.